It caught me snagging my coffee. Yes, we're on vlog 171. I don't know why I call them vlogs. Maybe what should I call them? I had something else I was going to call them. Entry. I don't know. Anyway, it's me, Jaime, the shut-in cartoonist musician, vlog casting from the Corn Tortilla Press World headquarters, located on that little island that's floating off the coast of Oakland, California. Sucking down my third coffee today. It actually was a little more than a half cup, but I got a lot to do today. We're rearranging the living room. We're actually moving stuff, swapping it from each side of the room, and bringing a shelf from down there, which I have to empty, and it's heavier than a Samoan, man. And I'm bringing it, putting it up here after Amy's son Jelani's coming over, and him and I are going to move the desk from up here down there for her workspace so she has more room to work. And then we're taking the shelving unit from down there and bringing it up here, and then we're moving her couch across the thing and moving the TV and the TV stand on the other side of the room and moving some other furniture and just reconnoitering, as the term goes. So that's my plan for today, and that's a whole minute of your life of TMI, of too much information, or as a coach Ron McKenna from Kit Carson Junior High, later Sacramento High School, used to say, what did he say? There's more useless graffiti to spray on the walls of your mind. And speaking of the past and Kit Carson and all that, when I was a little kid, when I was living with my folks, we had a family that lived near us, and my mom got really close to them, and therefore so did I. And I really loved them. I loved them with all my heart. They came in a very important time in my life. And my mom left my dad. I did one too many beatings, and we moved to San Francisco. Oh, from Sacramento, by the way. So we lived in San Francisco, a couple different neighborhoods there for a couple of years, and we came back and we bought a house, and the family had moved to a bigger place, and they lived right over the tracks from us. So they were walking distance, and my mom, got back in touch, and everything was just like picked up where we left off. And they had two kids, Cheryl and Tommy. Cheryl's the youngest. She's about 6-7 years older than me. And Tommy's a couple years older than her. And they were like, my siblings. I mean, I worshiped them. And they would babysit me. And my mom then met her boyfriend that she would have for 20 years. And but when they were first dating, like a lot of couples do, they would go on little trips, like a weekend trip up to Lake Tahoe to go see music or whatever. And so they left me, with them, with a family. This family I loved, which was awesome. I mean, because, they were really kind to me and treated me like one of their own. And I loved them thusly, like I was part of them. And their parents, liked a little bit of partying. So they had a habit. This is like old school. They had a bar they would go to, the Fireside, in fact, over on 8th Street. And they would go to the Fireside. And that was their little hangout, like on a Saturday night. So if I happen to be spending the weekend, here I am with a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. Dude, we were sneaking out. We were out till midnight, 1 in the morning, and it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. I couldn't have asked. That part of my childhood I loved. I couldn't ask for a better time. I remember they let me hold the transistor radio, and I was just discussing this yesterday. How I remember one summer night, we're running down the tracks. It's me, like a 7-year-old, with all these teenagers. And I remember Time Has Come Today by the Chambers Brothers came on the radio, and it was tuned to Croy, K-R-O-Y, for those Sacramento people on here from the past. Anyway, what a wonderful time. But at one point I got sent, as most summers I'd spend, most of the summers, as I've said before on here, in Southern California, and most specifically East Los Angeles, East LA, up in Boyle Heights there, where my mom was raised. And I'd stay with her family. And I had my little cadre, I had cousins, but I was a cadre of friends down there too. So I'd come down, we'd get together and, draw and play sports and venture around, well, as much as you could, because you had all the older guys that were like, hey, what do you claim, Holmes? So we all, even 7 and 8-year-olds were getting hit up by gangbangers. Like, yeah, we're, los idiots. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. So I come back every summer, and these people were there, this family. Anyway, I got to skip ahead here. So I get sent one summer down to San Diego, which was new for me. And I got sent to this really nice neighborhood with an aunt who was technically a cousin, but she was so much older. And her husband had a great place down there. So I spent the summer, had an okay time. It was pretty cool. I discovered surfing. That was a great thing. And made some friends. And then that school year, my mom decided, I guess because I was in the way, keep me down there. So they kept me down there for an entire school year and the following summer. At the end of the summer, I guess my mom felt guilty and I went back up to Sacramento. When I got there, I found out this family I loved so much and was so dear to me had moved away. Broke my heart. My mom says, yeah, they moved to San Jose. And it had just been recently, too. They just left. So it wasn't like they were gone that long yet, either. It was like a few months at the most. Because I remember, and I don't want to get into that. So anyway, I lost touch with these guys. And I did run into Cheryl, the daughter. She came up. They were living in San Jose. Well, she's Milpitas, I was later to find out. And visited my mom. And her brother I saw, he was tooling around Sacramento like the next year. And I ran into him one summer day. I'd found out he either hitchhiked or rode a freight or something to town. And he was hanging out for a little bit. And saw him the one day. And that was the last time I ever saw him again. We hung out the whole day. It was like a little family reunion. So my point is that, these people were I cherish them, in my heart. I've carried them with me. I've wondered for years whatever became of them. Because after that, I never heard from them again. I tried looking for them, kind of half-assed, but still looking. I got on Facebook. I'm trying to find out, women get married and change their names, and a lot of times they don't put their maiden name on there. So, I'm like, geez, it could be freaking anybody. And, but lo and behold, I got a phone number. I was really sleuthing hard now. And reading the data, it looked like I got the right person. It was Cheryl, the daughter. And I did indeed find her. And I talked to her yesterday on the phone for the first time in almost 50 years. And she's living in Missouri. See, it's an M state. Yeah. She's living out in the middle of Missouri, out near, I think, Springfield, if I'm not mistaken, but she's not in Springfield. She's in a town outside of that. And we caught up. The sad news, I had to tell her my mom had passed just over 22 years now. And she told me her dad passed back in 2010, and her brother passed about 15 years ago, which just broke my heart. That guy, his dad too was super cool. The Toms were both Big Tom and Tommy, and they were great guys. I loved them. But her mom is still alive and lives up in Reno. So we had a great conversation, talked for 45 minutes, an hour, I can't remember how long, just laughing and, oh, you remember this and that, oh, whatever became of so-and-so, and oh my goodness. So yeah, she's giving her mom my phone number today, and hopefully she'll call me. Shirley. I hope Shirley calls me. I haven't spoken to Shirley in at least 50 to 51 years. I haven't seen her nor spoke to her. So it's just amazing. Life can be amazing. And like I said, you got to know your past in order to go forward. You know what I mean? To know your future, to get to there. So you just got to know it. And touching base with people is great. You've heard me say that on here before. There's people you care about and you love. It's good to reach out once in a while. Just rattle their cage. See what they're up to. Tell them you love them. You've been thinking of them. Whatever you want to tell them, just to kind of check in. Especially now, during these crazy COVID times and, out here, all the fires and pollution, all the racial and political strife. I mean, it's just, I'm not a religious guy. I don't believe in heaven or a hell, but, the expression goes, it feels like we're on our way to hell in a handbasket as we speak. So that's about, 9 minutes. I'm sorry, you guys. I just wanted to bring it up. And, yeah, I'm pretty stoked, man. I'm in a good mood. So I got to finish my coffee. I got about another hour or so I got to start prepping stuff for moving everything around. Oh, and on the comic book front, I know I'm still working on the graphic novel. Duh. That's a big chore. And I was getting ready to do the next chapter, but I'm halfway through the comic book, the next issue of Tortilla, issue number 6. So I've decided to go ahead and push ahead and finish that, because I could finish that in the next month or 2 at the most, so I can have that done. Because I realized recently that when I got number 5 done at the end of last year, I don't know if I talked about it on here, but I had printer problems. getting it printed and getting it printed on time and getting it printed correctly. I had to have all this back and forth that went on for near a month. So I missed all the festivals and cons to have my new issue with me. And I said, well, I'll do it this year, right? I'll have the number 5 ready. Well, you know, you could still get it. You can go to my website, you know, corntortillapress.com, and go to the shop page. And the comic books, it's I think it's towards the end. No, it's not the last one, but it's the color cover, number 5. It has a little bee holding a skateboard and flipping you off. It's the Sacramento bee on there. But yeah, so I figured I'll get number 6 done this year too. So you can still buy them, but if and when we get let out and I'm back, you know, tabling at these places where a lot of you are used to walking up and see me in person, I'll have 2 issues for you. 2. And who knows, by the time all this is done, I'm going to have 2 issues and a graphic novel ready. So there you go. That's what's happening, everybody. That's, Jesus Christ, 11 minutes. I wanted to make this so much shorter. I apologize for the length, but hopefully it was a good, you know, 11 minutes of your life to take your mind off the other crap. All right, if you have to go out today, please mask up. Don't forget to wash and sanitize your hands often. Stay the hell away from people. In fact, if you can, just stay indoors. And the most important thing, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I will talk to you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.